Good evening, vast audience out there. This is the Urbana City Council, a special meeting, which will be followed by our regular committee of the whole meeting. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Bowersox?
Here.
Mr. Garrick?
Here.
Mr. Lewis?
Here.
Ms. Marlin? Here. Mr. Roberts?
Here.
Mr. Smythe? Ms. Stevenson?
Present.
Mayor Pressing.
Here. The first item is petitions and communications. I don't think we have anybody to give us a petition or communication. Any council member want to say anything? Well, I'd like to say that the county has asked us to participate in funding their Lincoln Museum, the county museum. You know, there's a route in Illinois, it's called Looking for Lincoln, and Urbana has not been included on that because we didn't have any specific sites. We now have a sign where the, is it Altshuler? Where the photograph studio was, or a famous picture of Lincoln was taken. But if we have a museum in the courthouse, this is something that the schools would like, and I think it might be something that the city of Urbana would like to participate in, because we wouldn't be here if it weren't for the county seat being located here. So I will be asking for your input on this, but we have been requested to participate, and we could do it with TIF money. So we can put that on an agenda and talk about it. Anybody else want to communicate something?
Sure, I do, actually do
Okay.
then. Really, it's along the same lines. You know, it's very exciting to participate in the Looking for Lincoln program. It's an important one, and of course, the year is passing. But it's come to my attention that there is a second location here in the city, in East Urbana, which is Lincoln associated, and it's well. People have talked about this. A particular tree that once grew along Main Street, a large elm tree, as a location that it was known Lincoln gave us a speech under. And but there was no documentation. And before I left on my vacation, I spent some time in the library, and I actually found documentation that was required. And so we have a legitimate second site now in the city of Urbana that we are hoping to process as a Looking for Lincoln site. It's a legitimate and important location that Lincoln is known to have spoken at.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? All right, let's move on. Next is a closed session on property acquisition issues. And my understanding is this falls within the exceptions to the Open Meetings Act because it's property acquisition. Brandon?
Your Honor, Your Honor, if I may, I just would indicate that, yes, under the Open Meetings Act, I do believe after consultation with community development, it's my opinion that this does fall under the exception. But as a matter of practice, we do have to recite and read the actual exception under which it falls, so I'm happy to do that, and then a public vote needs to be taken on whether or not council does want to indeed go into closed session.
Okay.
So I would indicate that it's my belief as legal counsel that pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2 subparagraph C subparagraph 5, this is an exception to the Open Meetings Act in that this meeting may be closed because a public body may hold closed meetings to consider the following subjects. Subparagraph 5, the purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body, including meetings held for the purpose of discussing whether a particular parcel should be acquired.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion?
Yeah, I would move we go into closed session pursuant that chapter of ILCS.
Second.
Okay, motion by Bowersox, seconded by Lewis. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Bowersox?
Yes.
Mr. Garrick?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Marlin?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Smythe?
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson?
Yes.
Mayor Pressing.
Yes. Okay. We'll go.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're back in open session, and we have ordinance number 2009-06-069, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of certain real estate at 1405 West Besley Street.
Second.
Okay, motion by Stevenson, seconded by Smythe. Any discussion? Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Bowersox?
Yes.
Mr. Garrick?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yep.
Ms. Marlin?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Smythe? Yes. Ms. Stevenson?
Yes.
Okay, that motion carries. Next is appointments from the mayor, Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Commission, Morgan Johnston, intergovernmental appointments, council members, Economic Development, Charlie Smythe, Convention and Visitors Bureau, Heather Stevenson, Regional Planning Commission, Robert Lewis, Library Board, Diane Marlin. And then there are a number of them for the various commissions.
Well, I make a motion that we accept the appointments of the mayor.
Second.
Okay, motion by Roberts and seconded by Lewis. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, that motion carries. Thank you very much. There being no further business, this meeting is adjourned.